Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be looking at the novel A Raisin in the Sun, written by Lorraine Hansberry. This novel was a very interesting novel. It really looks at how poverty affects African Americans. In the beginning of the novel, before we're introduced to the main characters, we're introduced to their apartment. And their apartment is very old, it's very worn down, it's just a very bad place to live. This apartment is so bad that this family has to share a bathroom with the rest of the people who live on their floor. Walter Younger, who is the head of this family, um, he is a limo driver and he's not happy with the life he lives. He wants to be more successful. In his apartment, he lives with his sister Bonita, his mother, his wife Ruth, and his son Travis. He wants a better life for them, and he's trying any way that he can to build a better life for them. Bonita is a college student, and she wants to be independent. She's an intellectual. She thinks that she's in a way better than the rest of the people in her family. She thinks she can be independent from them, but she's very attached to them. She depends on them because without them, she couldn't survive. Um, in the beginning of the novel, one of the interesting things that we understand, and one of the interesting things that we come upon is that the fact that Walter's father has passed away, and that this family they had a life insurance policy, and that they're going to receive $10,000, and the beneficiary is Walter's mother. And Walter has all of these amazing ideas in his head. He believes that once this money comes in, he is going to invest into a liquor store, and he's going to be his own boss. He's going to take his family out of poverty. He's going to do so many great things to get his family right on track, to get his family to pursue the American dream, to live the American dream. Walter has a lot of aspirations because he knows that his mother is going to give him that $10,000 so that he can invest into his business endeavors. But that doesn't happen. So, in the story, this $10,000 does come eventually. And the grandmother, the mother, Walter's mother, she takes the money and she puts down a down payment in a house within a white neighborhood. Now, before this even happens, Walter was very upset, right? He wanted his family to believe that he was the manly man. He wanted his family to believe that he was the man who could lead him, that could lead himself, that could lead them out of poverty. He believed that he was going to be the answer to their problems. He believed that he was going to be that golden ticket, that one the hero, right? But that's not what the other people in his family believe. They believe that his ideas they're just not realistic. His wife Ruth and his mother, they're down to earth. They're more realistic than Walter. Walter's ideas are very out there. They're out of the box and have no foundation. So when the grandmother gets to $10,000, she puts a down payment in the house. Walter he drops into darkness, right? He's really mad. He's really disappointed because his entire life, because he's a black man, the world has been putting him down, right? And it was the straw that broke the camel's back when he had this dream, and his own mother told him that she wasn't going to support him. So this actuality really affected him, and Walter really didn't know what to do. So when his mother saw that this problem, or the fact that she had money and she wasn't giving it to him, when the mother saw that this was bothering him so much, the mother gave him the rest of the money that she didn't spend, and Walter's mood completely changes. He invests all of it into this liquor store that he wanted to own. And even before the mother gave the money over to Walter, he told Walter that he needs to save some of the money so that his sister Bonita could go to medical school. Of course, Bonita was already a college student, but the mother wanted her to go to medical school, and Bonita wanted to go to medical school. But since Walter had invested all of it into the liquor store, um, you know, things looked really bad towards Bonita's future. And it even got worse when they figured out that the business partner in which Walter gave the money to, he took the money and he disappeared. So Walter lost all of the money. This money that was going to make their life better, this money that was going to make their lives more, I guess, livable, would just disappeared, and it's all Walter's fault. The man who had the loudest mouth, the man who said he was the answer to all of their problems, he's the one that ruined the family's future. And when Walter's mother, hears about this, she loses her mind. She slaps Walter, she hits him, she says, "How could you be so, stupid?" Right? Because she just put their entire lives in jeopardy. And he falls into a deeper darkness because everybody warned him. Everybody told him that his ideas were just too ludicrous, but he didn't listen. He said that he was the man of the house and that he was the one who had all the answers. But of course he didn't. So what happens next after all this takes place? The house that Walter's mother put a down payment on, it was in a white neighborhood, and the people in the white neighborhood, they did not want they didn't want colored people moving in. They didn't want people of other races moving into their culture to ruin it. So they sent somebody to the Youngerson's house, to the Younger's house, not Youngerson, Younger's house, and they tried to bribe them. The person that they sent said, you really don't want to live in a white community. We're going to pay you off. We're going to pay you what you paid for the house and more so that you don't come and live in our community. And this is a turning point where Walter, he was always about the pursuit of money, the pursuit of wealth, and this is where he finally puts his foot down. He says, I have pride in my family. I'm not going to sell my family's pride, and we are moving into this white community, even though you don't think that we belong there. Now he could have sold the house and gotten some money for it. Probably they probably could have given him pretty much that $10,000 back, just for not moving into this white community. But Walter put his foot down. He made his mother happy. He made his family happy, and they move into this house. And really, that's how the novel ends. It ends with all of them packing and all of them moving to this white community, even though that it's not a social norm. This community did not want them, but they're defiant and they move into this community. And really, that's how the novel ends. The novel is very interesting. We were introduced to this family that that is very impoverished. They are living in poor condition. They do at the end get out of this poor condition, but at the same time they lose a lot. There's an interesting line that is used within this novel where Walter says that this $10,000 is how much people thought my father was worth. And it's kind of interesting because his father died. This life insurance gives him $10,000. It's like this is the worth of a human being. $10,000 is the worth of a human being. It's kind of interesting because this actuality is, it still exists today, where you can, you know, put a price on a human life. And it really brings back the question of whether or not, how valuable is a human life? Is, in a novel, a human life is worth $10,000 because that's how much money they got for his father. I'm pretty sure to the mother, to him, his father was worth much more. But to a company, to a business, that's how much they believed the life of this man worth. And, when you're thinking in terms of a business, you're not really going to value a price of a human life as much as it should worth. So there's a lot in this novel that's very interesting to me. I think it says a lot about a oppression, a lot about racism, because I think the most important character within this novel is Walter because he is fighting to not drown, right? He lives in a world, he lives in a society that keeps pushing him down because of his color. He can't get a good occupation. Uh, he can't get a good life for his family because of his color and because of the fact that he has been oppressed for his entire life. And he kind of loses his mind when he hears about $10,000. He thinks this is going to be his way out. He thinks that this money is going to give him a way out of all of the things that he's been going through. But he loses all of it, and it's all because of him, right? It's not really because of his society. He gets cheated out of his money because he was so stupid enough to trust somebody, to give that much money to. So it really shows you this Walter. It shows you Walter and his struggles to survive and his struggles to go against a society, to go against a culture that keeps pushing him down. So this novel is, of course, interesting because it shows you how poverty affects an African American family, but at the same time, it shows you how this one man was fighting against the tide, was fighting against he was fighting not to drown in a society that keeps pushing him down. And in the end, he kind of puts his foot down and says, "Okay, I've been pushed around. I've lost all this money. I lost my mother's money. I lost so much in my life. But, although this community offered me more money to not live there, I'm going to put my foot down because I want to stand up for myself and my race and my color. Because even though they don't want me, I'm going to live there anyway. Because this is what my father would want. This is what my family wants. This is what I guess I want because I'm tired of being pushed around." So again, this novel very interesting. It has a lot in it. It has a lot about race, a lot about human life. What is the value of human life? But to me, the most important thing in this novel is Walter and his development. I think looking at his life and how he was oppressed, and how the fact that his mother didn't believe in his dreams at one point, that all affected him. That all pushed him down. But at the end, he does find himself. He does find his identity and who he is and what he represents. So that is the summary. That is my view on this novel. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next video.